reporting for duty, sir.
Hello, rookie. I'm your inspector, the Evangelist. I'm here to evangelize anime to a broader audience. I find a Western work or theme that the normies like, study it, and then use my dramaturgical know-how to find an anime that suits their taste. And today, just like in Minority Report, get ready to arrest people for crimes they haven't committed yet, with the anime where cops use your feelings against you, Psycho-Pass. So what makes Psycho-Pass like Minority Report? Well, in case you missed the Tom Cruise film, or never read the Philip K. Dick book that inspired it, Minority Report is a near-future dystopia where drugged-up psychics called Precogs predict when and where a crime will happen. The police swoop in and save the day before the crime even occurs, and don't worry about that guy's rights. He won't need them where he's going. Psycho-Pass is about a similar pre-crime unit, but they swap out the metaphysical for Freud. The city's Sibyl System, an artificial intelligence, has gone 4 steps past facial recognition. It invades your privacy by reading your biological markers and behaviors in real time. Why? To assign you a psycho score and an arbitrary hue, metrics the system uses to determine your criminality. Your psycho score also determines the level of force that the police can use with their weapon of choice, the Dominator. I'm McGruff the crime dog. Have the sads, you'll do the bads.
Enforcement mode. Lethal.
But don't worry, a normal psycho score means the officer can't shoot. And if you have a slightly elevated one, it's just a souped up taser. But if you're a high-risk target, well, no due process, no habeas corpus, and even if the officer disagrees with the diagnosis, the Sibyl System cannot be overridden. Don't worry, it's never made a mistake. Sound a little dark for your taste? Welcome to the Cyberpunk genre, where the main export is unhappy endings. Aha! I can hear you say. Minority Report has a happy ending. The Precogs live happily ever after, and John and Laura get back together and have a baby. I'm guessing you didn't read the book. Either way, to understand Psycho-Pass better and to see its redeeming qualities, we need to discuss the cyberpunk genre at large, and we're going to start with one of its godfathers. Philip K. Dick, or PKD, was an author from the mid-20th century. You likely know him from writing the book that led to the Ridley Scott film, Blade Runner. And if Voight Kampf Machine doesn't ring a bell, maybe The Man in the High Castle will instead. You might have seen its adaptation on Amazon. It's the one where FDR gets assassinated and the US doesn't enter World War II. Regardless, Hollywood has been adapting PKD's work for decades. His personal life is fascinating. He had a heavy focus in philosophy, history, and psychology at the University of California, Berkeley, but was honorably dismissed. His interest in those subjects, I think, carried on, based on this quote. I believe that the only thing that exists is God, and He is more than the universe. That's the premise I start from in my work, that so-called reality is a mass delusion that we've all been required to believe for reasons totally obscure. If that sounds a little like your stoner buddy right after reading Plato for the first time...
Are we sure we should be paying attention to these guys? It's like who died and left Aristotle in charge of ethics?
Plato.
That's probably fitting. But don't think all of PKD's work is morose or focused on what's real or what isn't. His first commercial short story, Roog, was about a dog that thought the trashmen were stealing food from the family. But that may make it seem like he avoided politics entirely, which really isn't true. His personal politics eventually did find their way in. Faith of Our Fathers was a commentary against communism, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was a story against eugenics, and The Pre-Persons was a satirical anti-Malthusian and... What a good reason to transition to the cyberpunk genre at large. In a nutshell, cyberpunk is a subgenre of science fiction where society is all but collapsed. A food shortage, nuclear war, pick a bad thing. But science has advanced so much that we have things like high-functioning artificial intelligence, cybernetic implants, the megacorporation. Wait, don't we have those already? The themes tend to revolve around how tech impacts the humanity part of being a person, and the philosophical or moral ramifications that come with that. Take the Ship of Theseus paradox. The short version is there's this old Greek boat, and over the years they replace the boards with new boards as the old ones wear out. Once everything is replaced, is it still the same boat? For the Cyberpunk context, if you could replace all of your body parts with computers or hardware, are you still you? And odds are good you've seen one of these Cyberpunk stories because they've been pumping them out over the last decade. The 2023 anime of the year was Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It's set in the same universe as the CD Projekt Red game and the R. Talsorian games that preceded that. 2017 saw the live-action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, and with apologies to Mr. and Mrs. Johansson, 2017 also brought us Blade Runner 2049, and we can't leave out the artisanally crafted nightmare fuel, Black Mirror. So Philip K. Dick's bio and the synopsis of Cyberpunk is all to say that Psycho-Pass doesn't escape the social commentary aspects of the genre either. The story's hook, in my mind, is all about the Sibyl System and its grip on society. There's even a clue in the name.
Is this?
It's an oracle from the Sibyl System.
The usage of oracle and Sibyl has to mean Sibyl of Cumae, a Greek myth about a prophet, or Precog. So the name is meant to add credibility from the start. And the anime premiered in 2012, so the exploration of facial recognition on steroids is appropriate, given the NYPD admits to having used it since at least 2011. And I can understand the appeal of a system that tries to eliminate police brutality. By systematically engaging and disengaging their peacekeeping weapons, it'd keep police from having to stress out about the use of force. A rigorous, automated system keeps the enforcer and would-be victim safe. It seems like a win-win, in theory. In practice, the problem is twofold. First, like money, democracy, and other abstracts, it requires faith in the system to begin with, though that faith issue is probably helped by the anime not taking place in the United States. The enforcers and inspectors don't have to contend with American exceptionalism. I mean, I have a hard time seeing in America where we just bend the Bill of Rights because some damn pewter told us to. Then again. And second, since the Sibyl System is an artificial intelligence, and here's that foreshadowing part, it boils down to a systems engineering problem. It was made by people, so it's inherently fallible because people are fallible. Here's a real-life example we'll see soon. Self-driving cars are going to exist in a decade or two. And to borrow from The Good Place, whoever programs these things is going to have to understand the trolley problem. There will at some point be an event where the car cannot stop in time. So does the car rear-end the person in front of us, or do we let the car onto the sidewalk so it can isekai this poor motherfucker? Don't let that little logic train deter you from watching Psycho-Pass, though. The nuance of how the story unfolds and why the Sibyl System came to be are handled extremely well, along with the expected philosophical and sociological exploration. And some pretty good action and people being turned into salsa. Plus, if you're into the creep factor, these little pastel Sanrio-esque robots juxtaposed to a murder scene should do the trick. If you want to watch Psycho-Pass, grab a Dominator, keep that hue clear, and click the links in the description on where you can stream it. Or if you missed Minority Report, the works of Philip K. Dick, or Cyberpunk at large, I've got links in the description for those too. And if you liked this video and want to check out some more, the Sibyl System, aka the algorithm, and I think you'd like these videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.